Uh, Good morning, everyone. I am Dr.A.NAGALAXMI, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce with Finance in Dr. SNS College of Arts and Science, Autonomous, Coimbatore. I am here to explain a concept in corporate accounting in the unit accounting for share capital, and in the topic reissue of shares. First, we should know what is meant by reissue. Reissue of the shares refers to the process by which a company resells the shares that were previously forfeited, bought back, or otherwise returned to the company. This process can help a company recover funds from shares and they have been taken back from the shareholders due to non-payment or other issues. Here a detailed look at how the reissue of shares work. When does reissue of shares happen? So reissue of shares happen at the time of forfeiture of shares. When the shares are forfeited due to non-payment or other breaches by the original shareholders, the company may reissue these shares to the new or existing investors. Buyback of shares. Shares bought back by the company, if allowed, may be reissued at a later date. Cancellation of shares. Shares that are cancelled or repurchased may be reissued. This is what the introduction about reissue of shares. Next, we are going to see the procedure for reissue. So, for making the reissue of shares, first they have to make the approval from they have to get the approval from the board. The reissue of shares typically requires approval from the company's board of directors or a relevant committee. This ensures that the reissue is conducted in accordance with corporate governance and legal requirements. Next is price determination. The company sets the price at which the shares will be reissued. This could be at par, the nominal value of the shares, or at a premium above the nominal value. The price is usually determined based on the market condition, company's policies, or other relevant factors. Offering the shares. The company offers the reissued shares to the potential buyer. This can be done through private placement, public offering, or share allocation. So, private placement means offering the shares to the selective investors or existing shareholders. Public offering, if a company is publicly traded, these shares may be offered to the general public. Share allocation. Once the shares are offered, they are allocated to the buyers who have shown interest. The company may use a lottery system or a first come first served basis depending on the terms of the offering. The next one is accounting and legal consideration. So accounting, the reissue of shares involves accounting entries to reflect the cash received from the sale of shares and to update the company's share capital accounts. Legal compliance. The reissue must comply with company law and regulatory requirements. This includes updating the company's register of shareholders and notifying relevant authorities if required. Impact of shareholders. New shareholders, that is investors who buy reissued shares, gain ownership in the company and may enjoy the benefits associated with the share ownership such as dividend and voting rights. Existing shareholders. The reissue of shares can impact existing shareholders by diluting their ownership percentage if the shares are reissued in large quantities. Next is strategic consideration, raising capital. Reissuing of shares can be a way for a company to raise additional capital which can be used for expansion, debt reduction, or other corporate purposes. Market perception. The reissue of shares can affect market perception and share price depending on how investors view the reason for the reissue and the company's overall performance. Reissuing share is a common practice in corporate finance, and it can provide companies with flexibilities in managing their share capital and raising funds. I think you might got some that is an input about reissue. Reissue is nothing but the forfeited shares will be reissued to the public. It will be helpful for the company for the expansion purpose. They can raise the funds for their internal that is for the internal they can use it as a working capital. So thank you so much for your patience listening.